Hello, intermediate artists. So here, this video is just going to show you specifically how to work on your 2 practice pages. Remember, these are due on Thursday, February 25th. So you will want to make sure that you are working on them on the correct day. This is the 2 point, this is the 1 point. Make sure that if you do not have a way to print them, if you are working on them at home, just hold up some paper to the screen, trace over all the different things that are on the page, and then you can complete it that way. You can also just look at it and redraw it if you would like to. The main thing is here you want to make sure that you are practicing and that you complete the correct forms or shapes and the amount of those. Because remember, right now they are shapes. We are going to be using linear perspective to turn them into forms which recede towards the vanishing point or towards the vanishing points. So in this video, I'm just going to show you how to do 1 or 2 from each page. I'm not going to show you how to do the entire page because you will learn better if you have to kind of figure it out on your own. But I am going to show you on the star. So you're going to put your ruler on the point of the shape and on the vanishing point. You're going to draw that line going from the corner to the vanishing point. And then we're going to go to the next corner. Corner to vanishing point. Corner to vanishing point. I'm going to check this corner, and I'll draw that one back. Basically, a good rule of thumb is if your line starts outside of your shape, you're going to draw it, because that will determine which part of the top and the side I see of each shape. So I'm going to check all of my corners here. So this one, as you can see, would start inside of my shape. So I'm not going to draw that one. I'm going to check this corner next. Again, it basically is just even with the shape, so you might see a little sliver of it, but you don't necessarily have to draw that one. This corner would be next. Inside the shape, I'm not going to draw it. This corner, inside the shape, so I'm not going to draw. This corner, again, inside of my shape, so I'm not going to draw it. Now the thing that we need to do is figure out where the back of our form goes. So to do that, we are going to use our ruler, because the back is going to be parallel to the front. So this is the front, so my back is going to go from one diagonal line to the next, and it's going to be parallel to the front. So that this section would be the side of the star that I see based on where that star is in relation to my vanishing point and my horizon line. So I'm just going to shade that in gray so that we can see the depth there, so we can see the thickness of that particular part. So then the top of this part is going to start where this edge touches the diagonal line. So I'm going to put my pencil there, and then I'm going to line my ruler up so that it is parallel with the front. And then from one diagonal line to the next, that's going to come over. So then now I'll color that one with a different color. So then now this section here will become the top that we see based on the positioning with the vanishing point and the horizon line. So you'll see that each back line is parallel to the front line, and it goes basically from one diagonal line to the next. So now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put my pencil here, and then this line is going to be parallel to the front, and it's going to go from one diagonal line to the next. So it will be a little bit thinner because you're not going to see quite as much of that particular side. So I'll color that one a different color. And you do not have to color your examples unless you just want to. I'm just coloring them to help make them a little bit more visible for you. And then this one is going to come right here to where that edge touches my diagonal line. I'm going to line my ruler up once again so that it is parallel with the front. I'm just going to draw that line back straight through my little arrow there. And then I'll color that one a separate color as well. So essentially all over the top and the side is connected. So the thickness or the thinness is based purely upon exactly where that side is in relation to the vanishing point and the horizon lines. And remember that the back is always going to be parallel to the front. That is one of the biggest things to remember. So that would be considered closing off the form. And you'll probably hear me say that a lot, but you're going to close off the form, and then what you'll do is you will erase the diagonal line that you no longer need. So it's very important to go ahead and practice drawing very lightly. And then you would have a star, which is three-dimensional and in a one-point perspective. But you will do the same thing for all the different shapes on this particular page. You will turn them into three-dimensional forms using linear perspective. Then on practice page number 2, which is 2-point linear perspective, same thing. Except now this is sort of the front that you see because it's the corner of a building, and you will see sort of the side going to this vanishing point, this side going to this vanishing point, and then on the ones that are below the horizon line, you'll see the top. On the ones that are above the horizon line, you'll see the bottom. So I'm just going to do this one to show you guys. So I'm going to put my pencil on the line, draw that line going back to my vanishing point, top and bottom, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. Make sure that you draw light so that you can erase. I'm drawing a little bit dark so that you can see the lines. Now what I have to do is figure out where I want this side to end and where I want this side to end. So I'm going to be ending those sides with vertical lines so that they are parallel to the front. So what I'm going to do is actually just line my ruler up here so that it's lined up with this line, and I'm going to draw a vertical line from one diagonal line to the next, and then on this side I'm going to use the numbers. I've kind of lined up these numbers along that line, and then I'm going to draw that line going up from one diagonal line to the next. So that this would be one of my sides. Remember, it's going to get smaller as it gets towards this vanishing point. And again, you do not have to color on your example. I'm simply coloring to make it a little more obvious for you. This would be the other side. And again, the side thickness, thinness, and angle is based solely upon where the vanishing point is in relation to the form that you are working on. Now, because this form is below my horizon line, I'm going to see the top as well. So what I'm going to do is put my pencil here, just like we did on the 1 point. Wherever this edge meets the diagonal line is where my next line will be. But now I'm going to go to this vanishing point. Because essentially this line would be the side of the building that is parallel to this one. So it needs to go to the same vanishing point. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. So I'm going to go from this corner to this vanishing point, because this line would be the side that is parallel with the yellow one, so they have to go to the same vanishing point. And then this part that I will color in blue would be the top of that form. And remember that anytime your form is below your horizon line, below your vanishing points, you will see the top. If it is above the horizon line and above the vanishing points, you will see the bottom. If it is on the horizon line, then you will just see both sides if it is in 2-point perspective, and you'll see like the front and one of the sides if it is in 1-point perspective. So then I'm going to erase those diagonal lines. Remember, it's very important to draw lightly so that you can erase your lines completely, especially because once you are working on your cityscape drawing, you're not going to want a bunch of extra lines messing up all of your hard work. So then you will do that same concept with all of the lines that are on the 2-point perspective page, because again, you're looking at the corner of each of these buildings or forms and showing where the sides go towards the vanishing points, and then the tops or the bottoms depending on where it is in relation to your horizon line and vanishing point. So you'll finish your 2-point page, you'll finish your 1-point page, and then you'll take a picture of both, upload them to the Classworks tab, and get all of that done today. Because tomorrow, what you guys will do is start planning the actual city that you want to draw. And then by next Tuesday, I'll have to see 3 thumbnail sketches as ideas for the city that you would want to draw, so that on Tuesday and or Wednesday, we can go ahead and start drawing those cityscapes on our final piece of paper.